Welcome to Akhand Vidyashram, the first institute of impeccable wisdom. Let's discuss about MAHA AKASH, the symbol of entire universe or full universe. The spiritual signs are 22 by 7 or pi. Now, definition of this is a periferia as such, which pi comes from, and is the circumstance, diameter and circles calculation as such, which I do not agree with. Now these are the different values given by the man-made concepts which I state do not agree with. And these are different formulas which have been given. I do agree they are man-made concepts, they are not divine design of nature, so not to be considered for consideration into divine mathematics. Now come to the question whether World International Day is March 14th, 314. I think it's an emotional issue which has nothing to do with divine mathematics. They had never had this particular concept in the nature's mind. Now come to the question of the simplest value of pi has been given as 3.14, that is 14th March. Now the calculation is circumstances equivalent to 2 pi into radius is 1, or circumstance equal to pi into diameter is 2 calculation, which man-made concepts have designed to get the value as such, and this is taking little too far with respect to circle alone. There is much more to that in this particular concept of circle itself for pi's concept. We are talking about pi, not circumference. Now, ancient Indian wisdom of Akhand Bharat has something much more specific to give with respect to pi. First person which comes to the Baudhayana, Sulabh Sutra. He has given the value as the three are Trinity, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. He says the perimeter of a pit, that circle, is 3 times its diameter. He hath observed, and I give him 100 plus context without any instrument, just looking at thing. He has seen that it could be only that. He has not even applied the mental mathematics as such. Now come to the question of Maharishi Yajnavalkya and Pai, who was student of only Surya, and he learnt A to Z from observing nature as such. He is the greatest astronomer 5000 years ago, and I salute him for the kind of work he has done with respect to Yajurveda and Upanishad as such, and the statement he has given are phenomenal in divine mathematics. And he has used the value of 339 divided by 108 equivalent to 3.13888. And now why did he use 339 divided by 108 is a question to be seen to prove that he was the greatest astronomer of the world 5000 years ago. He talked of 108 concept of earth and moon. You can see earth and moon as such. There are 108 moons between earth and moon itself. That is one concept, very clear. How did he know 108 is a phenomenal 5000 years ago? Second thing is between earth and sun, again 108. There are 108 earths on the sun and 108 suns between earth and this. Is a phenomenal to be done 5000 years without instruments. Now the same concept is now recognized by NASA in this particular thing, which have come to the given diameter of moon, diameter of earth, diameter of sun, and come to the same conclusion of 108 is phenomenal, is the kind of equipment which have phenomenal. That proves that his 5000 years mind calculation, what he has done is phenomenal. Whether they had equipment or not, I cannot say. It is too old to be proved. Now come to the question of Aryabhatta, which is 476 AD. That means 1600 years ago or 1550 years ago. He has given the value of as a 3.1416. He has calculated 62,832 divided by 20,000. That was his mental calculation, which is much more than what Maharishi Yajnavalkya has used. He 39 by 108, this is 62,832 by 20,000, and this is very close to the number which I am talking about. Now I am giving the number 22 by 7 as 3.142857. This is the simplest calculation in my brain. I have done it. There was no need to calculate with any calculator equipment or sophisticated equipment at all. This is 3.142857 followed by again 142857. The same thing continues. So I have taken this is only number is 3.142857 as such. Now I needed to do a confirmation which I would explain to you as we move on. Now comes to the question, how did I discover 22.7 is equivalent to that? With the division of 1 by 7 in 1997, I again 1 divided by 7 is equivalent to 0.142857. How did I discover? Systematically, not as a mental mathematics, also symbolic language as such is something which I am going to show to you. Now, how did I get it? And I make it very clear. I became a conscious of Kundalini within my body way back as the first experiencing of Kundalini as such in 1991, 1st January. After that, my dialogue between myself and Kundalini within my physical body became very conscious as such. So I didn't have to look outside to see. I started feeling within myself and experience as such. And this is where I found the particular explanation of Sat Chakra Nirupana, which is 3000 years old book, had explained the Kundalini's shape like Shankh, and these are the concepts which I have given. But somewhere along the line, it also talks of the structure which is like 22 by 7 or Kuja as such. And I think that was something which was enlightening for me. And this is a structure I have given. Now the come to question of when talk of Shankh, the conch is the length and breadth is in Deviyank ratio, just like golden ratio, or you can say 5:6 sequence. But for the first time, somebody in the history of mankind has given the divine golden ratio or Deviyank ratio as 1 into 1.618034, nothing less, nothing more. It is not 1.618 or 1.6180339 at all. So this is the precise number what I am giving for pi. Also I am giving this number, and that is again an experience which I have experienced. This number between me, my body, between the solar system, and also with the spiral galaxy, right up to spiral galaxy. This is a number which goes on very clearly. This is where I would say Neon 21 or Neon 22 played a very important role in my life as such. And I think that was the precising point which I am going to explain as I go further. Now come to the experience. How did I see? The first thing which I have experienced, the Kundalini by and large is a circular dot right inside in Muladhara chakra, and I can call it Antaratma or goddess Aditi or inert matter helium, which is orbit with 2 protons, 2 neutrons, 2 suns, but everything is inside dark matter as such. I think that is the precise definition of Antaratma which Rig Veda and Sanatana Dharma talks about it, and in inert matter is exactly same thing. Neon, helium, argon, krypton, xenon, all are the same thing like Antaratmas, and they are dark when they are not charged, but they are charged, they become very brilliant. Now the first awakening of Kundalini from Muladhara chakra to the Swadhisthana chakra, when this 21 into 21, which is a circular part, becomes 22 by 21, just like the movement of protozoa. And that is again incidentally 22 by 21 is 1/3 the value of pi itself. So somewhere pi is hidden in that thing as a 21 into 21. Then 22 by 21 is pi actually in evolutionary process. That is not as sleeping. Now you can understand 21 into 21 is a sleeping dark matter in helium 4 in Muladhara chakra. When awakens, it becomes the first stage of creation, 22 by 21. I think that was the greatest realization in my life of divine mathematics. This is where I realized the beauty of Lord Brahma's 3+ heads, but actually like pi only. Then second awakening is I realized over a period that there are 10 stages of development, not 7 chakras. There are 10.344 chakras, and first stage of creation Brahma is 22 by 21. 10.344 is 10 is Dasavatar Vishnu, and 0.34 is a Panchbhuta Shiva. Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, Trinity, which Badaranya is talking about. I could experience that together to this particular number that finally resulted into Devyank over a period step by step. Now they come to the question of seeing the impeccable wisdom. First symbol represents the 10 parts. That means in the in my human body there are 10 chakras. In the solar system there are 10 heavenly bodies as such. You can see in this picture very clear. The next thing is spiral galaxy in the Milky Way has got 10 suns, and we are one of those 10 suns. And that shows how beautiful is the picture of the divine mathematics from human body to the solar system to spiral galaxy, right up to these three concepts. It is with goddess Gayatri, which has 10 arms. I think that was a brilliant to me. From Aditi to goddess Gayatri, 10, I think super. Then same thing, best example of Divyank I say is a perfect human being. DNA B double helix. This is 1,000 times better than what Watson and Crick got their Nobel Prize in 1953. And this shows 21 into 22 plus 10.3, and this reveals even much more than what has been done by anybody else in the world. It even talks of the protons in the nucleotides itself. They are surprisingly identical. And I think that is divine mathematics and the perfection which I want the world to know step by step. Now the unfolding of number 7 I am going to explain right now as I explained the first important stages as such. Now comes the question. As I told, there were 10. In this picture you can see 10. You can see the sun in the middle. You can see the circle, that is dot to the circle, spherical. But you circle a spherical, you divide into 9 parts, as you can see very clearly. This is 1 plus 9 is the beginning mathematics as such. Shunya is sun. With that 9 part, and then together it can be 10, and then same thing multiplies thereafter. I think that was great divine mathematics for me to understand how the numbers appeared in nature from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then again 10, 11, etc., etc., etc. Now come to the question. Impeccable wisdom, which I used for the next stage, was division of 1 by 7 is equivalent to 0.142857 is very clear. And incidentally, that is again in Satchakra and Nirpana. There are not 7 chakras according to Satchakra, there are only 6 goddesses. And within that it talks about the autonomic nervous system, as you can see the picture. You have a sacral parasympathetic, sympathetic and cranial parasympathetic put together, and in the process you understand even Sanskrit language much better than 52 languages. I think that was a beautiful, impeccable wisdom where mathematics and science came close 100% together. Now based on that I was made to do that point 1 connect with 4, 4 with 2, 2 with 8, 8 with 5, 5 with 7, 7 with 1. When this picture was made, it became very clear that the first time appeared the 5-sided pentagon structure in the middle, because that becomes a very precise, because within that you have this matter, energy and matter both together. Solid have 360, energy has got 160, 180, put together is 540. There each angle would have 108 degrees. I think that was a phenomenal knowledge. If this is what nature is, and that you can experience within your body, then mean you are in tune with universal consciousness. You will have the knowledge in divine mathematics for each and everything step by yourself. Now comes to the question of evolution of Indian mathematics of pi. My calculation is equal to 3.142857. The precise and concise limited values, not too precise, not too little. It is a logical, practical and applicable thing. Misconception is not a divine trait. No need for man-made misadventures. We should know the divine design of nature, and that is Divyank. Divyank made me understand this concept very, very clearly. Now come to the second, scientific evidence is. Now I am going to show you which way I am different from everybody else in the world. Maybe the only person in the world who has produced the kind of brain electrical activity which is unusual, unique, perfect to the stage, which has never been done by anybody till date. I think that made me have a superconscious experience of astral travel within the physical body to do not unconsciousness, and that is the Turiya stage which I am talking about. In that process, you can see power spectrum analysis, the my EEG. I can produce 8 Hertz alpha frequency in my brain throughout the parts with open eyes, and nobody can produce alpha frequency with open eyes. They can do only with the closed eyes, mind at rest otherwise. With the open eyes, always a fast beta activity, but I am producing 8 Hertz frequency throughout the brain, whether you call it 8 parts, you call 16 parts, 32 parts, 64, even 1024 parts of the brain of left and right would have the exact same value as you can see in this picture. Peak is only 8, 8 and 8, nothing other than that. That was a phenomenal experience. If this is where, no wonder I am able to do something which others are not able to do. In the process, I also realized I am the only person who understands the functions of outer 3 layers of new cortex, which work as an antenna to the universal consciousness AKASH record. And once that is opened, only then within body you can use that and experience the entire process. In the process, you become part of the whole universal consciousness. As you listen to the FM radios, you become in tune with right to A to Z of the entire part within your body. I think that was a phenomenal experience. Now come to the question of astral travel. An external conscious travel, a super conscious exploration which I have gone through, and you can see the Schumann resonance field in this particular picture. I am going to show you step by step how did I experience different stages consciously and super consciously within my physical body. I am making again and again. It is conscious Turiya stage, nothing other than that. In this particular Akash Kosh, I call it Schumann resonance phase, which everybody knows. There are 3 spheres you can see in this picture. This is from the internet. The one which I call 7 earth element is value is 7.83, which I call it to 8. Second is 7 atmospheric spheres are Bhumilok, Antariksh and heaven. Antariksh also is 14.1, which I call 14, and 7 heavens I would call it 20.3 or even 21 or even 22, doesn't really matter. But within that you have the spheres. At that stage frequency you will move on. The first one is pure alpha, second is beta, but beta is connected from inside out. Your outer layer is able to experience that. That is more important than anything else. It's not going to unconscious, subconscious state. It is a conscious and super conscious state within the human body itself, in the brain itself. Then come to the Akash Kosh, the 3 things which I am talking about. 7.83 down, which is to the earth, 14.3 which is with the spiral galaxy as such, and 20.3 is beyond the spiral galaxy. So let me make it. One is within the human body, and second is solar system and spiral galaxy. Third is beyond the spiral galaxy, Milky Way, to the higher universe and the entire universe, which I am calling it Akash as such. And that is Akash, you can call it not the Bhuta as such. And this is the symbol or the yantra of entire universe. Now come to the question, is the greatest ascension of good. As I told you, sleeping is 21 into 21 circular. First awakening is 22 by 21. The second awakening is 22 by 21 to the power of 10. And then third stage is to go to one particular thing, to go beyond. You need even more than 10 points. You literally come to organ 40. And organ 40 level you can have ascension to highest universe, right from the center of the sun, and we pass through the earth in the same process and go up to pole star, all in one line. No wonder pole star or Dhruv is considered the star, the center even today by all the astronomers, all the Navy people as such. In the process you can have experienced Akhand Brahman, the entire universe as such. That is Akash as such. And this is a picture which is very clear, and in the picture you can see sun down, then you send pole star on top, and whole thing is in the structure which is orbital. Height is 22 times and width is 7, that is 22 by 7. That is the picture which I am talking about with respect to Akash itself. Now come to the question, very interesting to say. In the process I realized what is Akhand Brahmand or Akash actually is shown as a shivling very, very clearly. And when I talk of the shivling, this particular picture, you can see the Om, then you can see shivling. But shivling is divided by the center thing, division between the upper port and top. Here, what is visible in shivling is the upper 11 by 7 only. And then there is a plate which people have not understood, and then there is lower 7 part which are underground invisible part, and together the 22 by 7 is what shivling is all about. It is nothing to do with anything other than that. It's only a universal consciousness, that energy of the universal consciousness. Once you understand that, you only then you understand the first divine nature of nature. And I think once you understand that, you know that entire universe is divine mathematically. When I say this kind of concept was never done by anybody other than the Brahmins who wrote Veda and Upanishads, and of course then I am doing it for the first time. I know further it will be difficult even modern science to go beyond, because there is nothing beyond. It's right up to pole star with the whole universe, and also the structure which is, you can call it orbital, you can call it rectangular, you can call this particular 22 by 7 pi. I think once that is realized, you can experience all that within your physical body. In the process, you will understand the beauty of hydrogen, beauty of helium, beauty of carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, as well as sodium, potassium, chloride, calcium, magnesium, all the 14 vital elements you will experience within the body, and once they are perfect, you will have a perfect, healthy, wealthy, wise and happy life. Your body will be able to tell you what is less, whether water is less or sodium is less or sugar is less, and what is required. And person who is in tune with that would never have any physical health problem at all. He'll be like a walking, talking encyclopedia as far as knowledge is concerned. Once that is come, he can go to the stage to come and experience the world which has never been done in the history of mankind. Now coming to the last picture, everything is there. I am not going to talk about it. I think is enough for the day. Thank you very much.